In ancient Japan during the Tao era, our main character, Tanjiro Kamado, lives on a mountain with his 3 brothers, 2 sisters, and a caring mother. He comes back from the city to a horrifying sight. His entire family is brutally killed, with only his younger sister, Nezuko, surviving. The heartbreaking news is that Nezuko is turning into a demon. In his desperation to save Nezuko, Tanjiro discovers her demonic transformation. They both fall off a cliff, leading to a tense confrontation between them. Miraculously, Tanjiro reaches Nezuko's consciousness, temporarily stopping her demonic urges. Their situation becomes more complicated when demon hunter Tomioka Gyu arrives, mistakenly blaming Nezuko for the Kamado family massacre. Despite Tanjiro's plea and evidence that Nezuko is innocent, Tomioka prepares to execute her. To save his sister, Tanjiro surprises everyone with a combination of stone and axe attacks. Despite his efforts, Tomioka overpowers Tanjiro and is about to carry out the execution. In a twist, Nezuko regains control and defends her brother, leading to a fierce battle against Tomioka. Witnessing the siblings' determination, Tomioka advises them to seek help from his teacher, Sakanji Urokodaki. Aware of demons' vulnerability to sunlight, Tanjiro prepares to journey to Mount Sagiri. Before leaving, he buries his family, reinforces a broken basket with bamboo for Nezuko, and they set off. Their journey takes an unexpected turn when they encounter a temple inhabited by a cannibal demon. A perilous encounter unfolds, with the demon capturing Tanjiro. However, Nezuko retaliates swiftly. The battle intensifies, with Tanjiro fighting the demon's severed head and Nezuko confronting the animated body. After defeating the demon by tossing its body off a cliff and nailing its severed head to a tree, a mysterious man in a Tengu mask, revealed to be Sakanji Urokodaki, emerges onto the field. Urokodaki explains that regular knives can't kill demons and mentions sunlight and special neuron blades used by demon hunters as effective weapons. When sunlight touches the demon's head, it starts to burn, prompting Nezuko to hide in her bamboo basket. Urokodaki sees potential in Tanjiro as a demon slayer and suggests a challenging test. They go to a mountain filled with traps, and Urokodaki instructs Tanjiro to descend before morning. Surprisingly, Tanjiro faces numerous obstacles but overcomes each with great difficulty, earning Urokodaki's approval. Impressed, Urokodaki decides to personally train Tanjiro. Under Urokodaki's guidance, Tanjiro learns swordsmanship and proper breathing techniques, emphasizing unity with water. Meanwhile, Nezuko remains unconscious. Urokodaki explains the existence of a demon slayer squad, and to join, Tanjiro must survive the final selection at Mount Fujikase. Tanjiro's daily routine involves training and maintaining a diary for Nezuko. One challenging part of his training is to cut a giant stone boulder. Despite 6 months of relentless effort, Tanjiro struggles. Enter Sebito, a man with a fox mask, challenging Tanjiro to a duel. Tanjiro faces defeat, but encounters Makomo, a girl who teaches him breathing techniques. Motivated, Tanjiro continues training for another 6 months and challenges Sabito to a rematch. During their duel, Tanjiro perceives ethereal threads guiding his strikes, cutting Sabito's mask and the giant stone. Makomo and Sabio vanish, leaving Tanjiro with a sense of accomplishment. Initially skeptical, Urokodaki now believes in Tanjiro's potential. He provides a sumptuous dinner, an enchanted protective mask, and words of encouragement. The next morning, Tanjiro sets off for Mount Fujikase, determined to prove himself for the Demon Slayer squad. Before leaving, he asks Urokodaki to convey greetings to Makomo and Sabito. Surprisingly, Urokodaki is startled as they were long-deceased students. Undeterred, Tanjiro proceeds to the mountain, encountering twins who outline the final selection conditions. Armed with a Nerin blade from Urokodaki, Tanjiro stands out and defeats several demons. During his trials, he faces a colossal demon with a grim history of devouring participants, including Urokodaki's 13 students. Mistaking Tanjiro for the 14th victim, the demon attacks. but Tanjiro regains focus and uses the first water style to decapitate it. Despite feeling melancholy, the spirits of the 13 find peace. Out of many participants, only 5 survive the selection. The twins explain the 10 ranks of hunters, assigning each survivor a Kosugi raven for communication and a sparrow for Zetsu. The next step involves selecting an ore type to forge their Naren blade, taking 10 to 15 days. Tanjiro returns to Urokodaki's house, where Nezuko has awakened, bringing joy to Urokodaki. He explains Nezuko's unique strength regeneration through sleep, eliminating her need to kill. After 15 days, Haganezuka delivers Tanjiro's Naren blade, explaining its properties. Tanjiro, with his unique black Naren sword, receives a message from his raven, directing him to the northwest, where young girls disappear nightly. This marks Tanjiro's first assignment as an official demon slayer. In preparation, he wears the demon slayer uniform, and Urokodaki imparts knowledge about his form and the new black Naren sword. Additionally, he provides a lightweight carrier designed for Nezuko. In a busy city, Tanjiro meets Kazumi, a worried man whose girlfriend was attacked by a demon the previous night. Kazumi takes Tanjiro to the crime scene, where Tanjiro senses a lingering trace of a demon. Simultaneously, another girl gets abducted by a demon, but Tanjiro can only sense its presence, not see it. Trusting his instincts, Tanjiro thrusts his sword into the area with the strongest scent, staving the girl. Surprisingly, the demon had created 2 clones of itself. Meanwhile, Urokodaki narrates the tale of the first demon, Kibutsuji Muzan, existing for over 1,000 years. Muzan's blood is the only one that can turn a person into a demon. During Nezuko's sleep, she saw all humans as her family, leading her to protect people indiscriminately. Returning to the ongoing battle, Tanjiro decides to enter the dungeon where demons lurk, leaving Nezuko to guard the people underground. Tanjiro faces 2 demons in a swamp, using his 6th whirlpool style to defeat them swiftly. Meanwhile, Nezuko confronts a 3rd demon and gets a facial injury. Just in time, Tanjiro steps in, cutting off the demon's hands. Tanjiro questions the demon about Kibutsuji Muzan, but terrified, the demon refuses to share any information. The demon tries to attack but is quickly defeated by Tanjiro. The raven brings a new mission, directing them to Tokyo, where a demon hides. In the city, they buy udon noodles, and while enjoying the meal, Tanjiro catches the scent of the same demon from his family's tragedy. He follows the trail to the disguised Kibutsuji Muzan, who turns a passerby into a demon to divert attention, leading to a confrontation with Tanjiro. As Kibutsuji Muzan casually leaves, blood flowers appear, summoning demons Tamao and Yushiro disguised as humans. They offer to help Tanjiro, and Muzan cruelly demonstrates their ruthlessness by dispatching 3 drunk individuals in an alley. In the shadows, Muzan tasks demons Sukamaru and Yaiba with bringing the head of a demon hunter adorned with Hanafuda earrings, specifically referencing Tanjiro. Our hero, along with his sister Nezuko, joins Ishiro to visit the demon doctor Tamayo's residence. They walk through walls, discovering Tamayo's home. Tamayo explains her ability to sustain herself and Ishiro without consuming humans by altering their bodies. Instead, they get the necessary blood from donors. Tamayo reveals a method to turn demons back into humans, but emphasizes the need to find a specific cure. Recognizing Nezuko as a unique case, Tamayo seeks permission to study her blood and requests Tanjiro to acquire the blood of demons close to Kibutsuji Muzan. The tranquility is shattered when Susanoo and Yaiba burst in, following Tanjiro's trail. Susanoo attacks Tanjiro with her Tamari, and Yaiba grows extra arms, conjuring arrows. Yushiro intervenes, sealing Tanjiro's eyes to perceive the arrow's movement. Nezuko engages in a fierce battle against Yaiba to distract him. Tanjiro, amidst the chaos, severs all Tamari and amputates Susanoo's hands. Tamayo stresses the importance of these demons' blood for her research, urging Tanjiro to procure it. Focused on his task, Tanjiro faces Yaiba in combat. Despite Yaiba's arrow manipulation, Tanjiro deciphers the technique and lands a decisive blow. However, in a desperate attack, Yaiba overwhelms Tanjiro with a barrage of arrows. Meanwhile, Nezuko and Susumaru exchange relentless Temari kicks. Tamayo intervenes, using her blood to cast a spell on Susumaru, tearing her limbs apart. It becomes clear that only Kibutsuji Muzanora's blood can kill demons. Following the Raven's report, Tanjiro heads southeast and encounters the peculiar Zenitsu Agatsuma along the way. Their journey brings them to a house where Tanjiro senses the smell of blood. Investigating, they find frightened children who tell a terrifying story of their brother being abducted by a monster. Out of compassion, Tanjiro decides to rescue the boy, with the children bravely joining him. Inside the house, the demon initiates a transformation, separating Tanjiro and the girl from Zenitsu and the boy. Zenitsu and the boy stumble upon a room where they meet a man in a boar mask named Inosuke Hashibira. Suzumi strikes again, triggering further transformations. Zenitsu faces another demon, unleashing a dormant power within him and using thunder breathing to defeat it. Inosuke awakens, initially thinking the boy defeated the demon. Using the breath of the beast, Inosuke confronts and defeats another demon. Meanwhile, Tanjiro tends to the girl and encounters the kidnapped older brother, Kushi. Using Yorokodaki's medicine, Tanjiro learns that the demon responsible is Cage, expelled by Kibutsuji Muzan from the lower moons. Tanjiro deciphers the demon's Suzumi technique, using the ninth style to destroy it. He collects a blood sample, sending it to Tamayo for analysis. Reuniting with the children, they navigate the house to escape. Simultaneously, Inosuke notices Nezuko and decides to confront the demon. Zenitsu protects Nezuko, leading to a clash with Inosuke. Inosuke, aggressive, attempts to strike Nezuko. Tanjiro intervenes, breaking Inosuke's ribs for endangering his sister. Despite Inosuke's determination, Tanjiro delivers a decisive blow to his head, incapacitating him. As Inosuke recovers, a raven appears, urging everyone to descend from the mountain and follow its lead. The group, battered but determined, moves to their next destination, leaving the eerie mountain behind. Arriving at the house adorned with painted wisteria, Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu are warmly welcomed by the grandmother residing there. She provides them with nourishment, new attire, and comfortable beds for recovery. A doctor is summoned to tend to any injuries they may have sustained. In the midst of this hospitality, Zenitsu questions Tanjiro about why he carries a demon with him. Tanjiro introduces Zenitsu to his sister, Nezuko, and unexpectedly, Zenitsu falls head over heels in love with her. The raven returns, directing them northeast to the foot of Mount Natagumo. At the mountain's base, they find a demon hunter being dragged up by threads. Due to Zenitsu's fearful disposition, he lags behind Tanjiro and Inosuke. They meet Murata, a hunter who informs them that 10 others arrived but turned on each other. The group is attacked by manipulated hunters, and Tanjiro discerns the threads controlling them. Despite cutting the threads, the controlled individuals persist. Inosuke, using the breath of the beast, discovers the demon orchestrating the control. Murata stays to free the manipulated individuals, while Tanjiro and Inosuke pursue the demon. Along the way, they encounter more controlled hunters. Tanjiro devises a strategy to neutralize them by throwing the controlled individuals onto tree branches, rendering them immobile. The demon resorts to her trump card, unleashing a colossal, headless giant. Inosuke and Tanjiro combine their efforts to defeat the creature, eventually decapitating the controlling demon. However, the demon's true desire was freedom, and she warns the boys about a demon from one of the 12 moons awaiting them. Meanwhile, Kagaya Obayashiki, the head of the Demon Slayer Corps, dispatches 2 Hashira, the highest-ranked demon slayers, Tamayo and Kocho Shinobu, to aid Mount Natagumo. Simultaneously, Zenitsu encounters a spider demon who infects him with poison. Through flashbacks, we glimpse Zenitsu's past training with his teacher, Jigoro, where an electrifying incident altered his hair color. Zenitsu succumbs to the poison, triggering his alter ego. Unleashing the first style of thunder breathing, Zenitsu embarks on an involuntary journey driven by his unconscious self. As he battles the lightning-wielding demon, he manages to decapitate the creature, but the poison quickly takes hold, leaving him paralyzed. Tanjiro and Inosuke, aware of Zenitsu's predicament, rush to his aid. However, they are intercepted by the appearance of the demon's father, sparking a fierce battle. Simultaneously, Tomoko and Shinobu reach the scene. Tomoko assists Tanjiro and Inosuke, while Shinobu administers an antidote to Zenitsu, saving him from the lethal effects of the poison. Tanjiro and Inosuke engage in a high-speed fight with the demon father, finding it challenging to penetrate his defenses. Tanjiro resorts to a drastic move, cutting down a tree to crush the demon. Intent on employing the tense style of water breathing, he faces resistance as the demon retaliates, hurling Tanjiro several meters. Inosuke, determined to contribute, discovers a strategy to cut through the formidable foe. He embeds one sword into the demon's hand and finishes the job with the second, severing the demon's hand. However, the demon undergoes a transformation, emerging even stronger. Inosuke attempts to confront the enhanced demon, but his swords shatter upon impact. The demon seizes Inosuke's head, threatening to crush it. Tomoko intervenes, effortlessly dispatching the demon with swift blows. Concerned for Inosuke's well-being, Tomoko decides to restrain him due to his severe injuries. Meanwhile, Tanjiro encounters two demons, Rui and his sister. A philosophical exchange ensues, leading to Rui expressing doubt in Tanjiro's convictions. In response, Tanjiro launches an attack, successfully cutting through the demon's immensely strong threads. Rui retaliates by creating a web, attempting to strike Tanjiro. Nezuko appears, shielding Tanjiro with her body. As the battle unfolds, Rui ruthlessly cuts down his demon sister, commanding her to eliminate everyone remaining on the mountain. In a shocking turn of events, Rui proposes a life-for-life exchange, offering to spare Tanjiro in exchange for Nezuko becoming his sister. Revealing himself as the fifth demon of the lower moons, Rui employs threads to ensnare Nezuko, suspending her above the ground. The demon enhances his threads with crimson, influenced by his demon blood art. Facing this critical moment, Tanjiro recalls his father's teachings about the dance of the god of fire, Inokami Kagura, and the breath of the sun. Drawing strength from these memories, Tanjiro invokes the breath of the sun, severing Rui's red threads and closing in on the demon. Simultaneously, Nezuko awakens and uses her demonic blood art, Blood Explosion, to incinerate the remaining threads and charge Tanjiro's sword. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Tanjiro beheads the demon. To everyone's astonishment, Rui survives by decapitating himself just before Tanjiro's blow connects. Undeterred, Rui attempts to retaliate by threatening Tanjiro and Nezuko. Tomoko intervenes, using the 11th style of water breathing to sever all of the demon's threads and ultimately beheading Rui. Meanwhile, Shinobu locates Rui's demon sister and dispatches her using the butterfly dance and wisteria poison. Upon discovering Nezuko, Shinobu, perceiving her as a threat, intends to eliminate her. Tomoko steps in to defend Nezuko, diverting the attack and suggesting that Tanjiro grab Nezuko and flee. However, Shinobu outmaneuvers Tomoko, pursuing Tanjiro instead. At this crucial moment, another demon hunter, Surikana, emerges, attempting to eliminate Nezuko. Unexpectedly, Nezuko shrinks in size and tries to escape. Tomoko intervenes again, engaging Shinobu in combat. Meanwhile, a raven arrives, delivering orders that Tanjiro and Nezuko must be captured and taken to the Demon Slayer Court headquarters. A cleanup squad led by Kano Kochu arrives, rescuing the surviving hunters from the mountain. The narrative shifts to the headquarters, where the Hashira, the top-ranking demon slayers, convene to judge Tanjiro, Nezuko, and Tomoko. Shinobu asks Tanjiro to explain the reason for traveling with a demon. Tanjiro asserts that Nezuko is his sister, emphasizing that she does not harm humans and poses no threat. The Hashira decide to wait for Kagaya Obayashiki's arrival before making a final judgment. Suddenly, A disturbance occurs as the wind Hashira, Sanemi Shinazugawa, activates his pillar. In a shocking turn of events, he seizes Nezuko and begins stabbing her with his sword. In a desperate attempt to free Nezuko, Tanjiro leaps at Sanemi, striking him with his head, causing both of them to tumble to the ground. Following Kagaya Ubayashiki's arrival, the Hashira bow before him. Each Hashira expresses their opinion, with the majority favoring punishment for Tanjiro and Tomoko. Ubayashiki reveals a letter from Urokodaki requesting Tanjiro to be allowed to travel with Nezuko. The condition is that if Nezuko harms humans, Urokodaki, Tomoko, and Tanjiro will commit seppuku. Despite the words spoken, the persistent Shinazugawa proposes to personally check on Nezuko's restraint. Carrying Nezuko's box into the shadows, he cuts his hand and pierces the box multiple times. Nezuko refrains from attacking, displaying her control, which astonishes all the present hunters. Ubayashiki then proposes a task for Tanjiro and Nezuko to eliminate all demons of the 12 moons. Acknowledging their commitment, all the Hashira recognize Tanjiro and Nezuko. They are subsequently taken to Shinobu's estate. Tanjiro, however, decides to confront Shinazugawa once more, attempting to strike him with his forehead. Unyielding, Shinazugawa remains unmoved. Meanwhile, Ubayashiki asks Tanjiro to convey his gratitude to Tamayo. At the estate, they encounter Yoriichi Tsudakuni and Zenitsu, whose limbs have shrunk due to a partial transformation into a spider. Aoi Kanzaki is also present, with an injured throat. Tanjiro releases Nezuko from the box, and she is allowed to reside in the estate. Concurrently, a meeting of the Hashira discusses the rising number of demon incidents. They deliberate on the newcomers, including Tanjiro. Recognizing the increasing threat posed by Kibutsuji Muzen, Kagaya Ubayashiki expresses his gratitude to the Hashira for their efforts. He acknowledges the return of the formidable team, including Nuzui Tenjin, Kyojuro Rengoku, Kano Tsuyuri, Mitsuri Kanroji, Muichiro Tokito, Jiome Himejima, Sanemi Shinazugawa, Iguro Obanai, and Tenjin Yuzui. Following the meeting, Rengoku embarks on a mission likely connected to one of the 12 Moon's demons. Meanwhile, Murata, who survived the recent events, visits the hospital to inform the others about the Hashira meeting and his interrogation. Shinobu proposes beginning recovery training for Inosuke and Tanjiro. The initial focus is on restoring their body flexibility and determining their reaction time. With the assistance of sticks and Sorikano, they gradually regain their bodily functions. However, Zetsu and Inosuke eventually cease attending training due to their inability to match Sorikano's relentless pace. Tanjiro continues his training, seeking ways to defeat Sorikano. His assistant girls share the secret of breath concentration, emphasizing its potent effects when maintained throughout the day. To enhance his breath control, they introduce pumpkins for Tanjiro to burst using his breath. After 15 days, Tanjiro makes progress in his training. During his training, Tanjiro encounters Shinobu, who shares her dream of finding a way to befriend demons instead of killing them. Intrigued by the idea, Tanjiro successfully bursts the pumpkin, signaling a new level of proficiency. Simultaneously, Zetsu and Inosuke visit Shinobu to inquire about Tanjiro's progress, motivated by Shinobu to persevere in their own training. As Tanjiro shares his training experiences with Zetsu and Inosuke, they diligently pump up their efforts. During the sessions, Hagane Tsuko appears, attempting to strike Tanjiro due to his broken blade from the fight with Rui. Inosuke receives new blades and adds his signature notches, adding weight to the swords, much to his satisfaction. The training proves fruitful, significantly increasing Tanjiro's speed, allowing him to defeat Kana. Shinobu acknowledges Tanjiro's recovery and readiness for missions. Tanjiro persistently seeks information about the Breath of Flame, prompting Shinobu to direct him to Rengoku, who possesses a style similar to the Breath of Flame. Meanwhile, a demon on a train is shown, and events from months ago reveal Kibutsuji Muzen summoning the Lower Moon's demons to eliminate them. However, he strengthens one demon with his blood to target Hashira and the hunter with Hanafuda earrings, who is revealed to be the same demon on the train. At the estate, a new mission is assigned to Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zetsu, involving the mysterious disappearances on the endless train. They are to join Kyojuro Rengoku, whom Tanjiro had recommended to Shinobu. Rengoku might assist Tanjiro in mastering the flame-breathing technique. Before embarking on the mission, Tanjiro helps Kanao overcome her fear of heartbeats. In the midst of these developments, Tanjiro expresses gratitude to Tamayo for supporting him and Nezuko. The group initiates their journey towards the train, leading to a confrontation with Inosuke impulsively attacking it, attracting the attention of the authorities. As the train starts moving, Hashira Rengoku and the formidable demon await them, marking the conclusion of the first season. Please subscribe for more videos like this.